Well, let's talk a little bit more about the eligibility part because I saw something they was breaking down between the 300 under. What was that all about? So who's more specifically eligible this time?
So it's the same groups are eligible, but what they did, the difference in that, Jarvis, is still speaking to the same thing I talked about before, where the very first round of PPP, you had the bigger small businesses sopping up the money, so to speak. So drilling it from 500,000 to 300,000 is the government's response to say, all right, so we're going to say if you have 300 employees, I'm sorry, or less, and not 500. So that was really the response. So we're going to restrict it even further so that we can try to make sure that this actually gets in the hands of small business owners. Of course, in the first round, particularly with a company like Ruth Chris, if you have a franchised type business, those businesses will still probably qualify. But this was just the federal government's response to try to restrict the PPP eligibility to the true small business owners.
So how much can a person apply for on this second time? How do they break that down?
So you have the first draw and the second draw, right? So it's a little bit different, and this is where we have the interim filing rule outs, or the IFRs from the SBA. They are out. They were out last week. We suspect we're still waiting on a little more clarification next Wednesday. I was on a call this morning. But your first draw, folks, it's 10 million, right? That's what I read in all these pages, was that it's a $10 million max. I believe that the max for second draw, folks, is 2 million. So, still a good amount of relief that you can apply for either first or second draw.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember seeing something like 2.5 times your income. What was that all
Okay,
about?
so you're talking about how it's calculated. And that's a very good question, because it actually is slightly different this round. The first rounds last year, it was 2.5 time. It was a whole formula, but 2.5 was the integer that they used to determine what your payroll costs and determine your overall eligibility. This year, what's different, particularly they're trying to cater to restaurants, as well as sort of your accommodation services, your hotels. Those are one of the hardest hit industries. They can use 3.5 times payroll expenses. So you have 2.5 for non-accommodation services, restaurant industry, and then 3.5 if you are in that. But that's just a part of an overall formula to determine what your max eligibility is going to be for your particular business.
Okay, so that leads me to my.
Do you know what's happening in Birmingham? Find out now with the all-new What's Happening Birmingham app. Download today on Android, iPhone, and iPad for free. Get info on everything you need to know about local news, events, businesses, restaurants, and more. Visit our website, what'shappeningbirmingham.com, follow us on Twitter at HappeningBham, or call us at 205-538-4508. Download the What's Happening Birmingham app today. What's Happening Birmingham, your source for everything Birmingham.